Some YouTubers seem like everyday creators until their crimes turn their fame into something far darker. These are YouTubers who became horrible criminals. Starting with Jared Lee Loughner. Jared Lee Loughner was a quiet and introverted individual who spent much of his time alone, immersing himself in books and online forums. Born and raised in Tucson, Arizona, he struggled with maintaining friendships and often isolated himself from others. Known for his eccentric behavior and intense interest in conspiracy theories, Jared was fascinated by ideas about government control, currency manipulation, and mind control, which he would often share on his YouTube. He was a community college student for a time, but his erratic behavior led to clashes with faculty and eventually his suspension. He would use YouTube as a platform to share his deeply unsettling and incoherent thoughts. His channel became a disturbing window into his deteriorating mental state, filled with videos that hinted at his growing paranoia and delusional worldview. In the months leading up to the attack, Loughner uploaded a series of cryptic videos, many of which discussed topics like government mind control, currency manipulation, and his bizarre theories on grammar as a tool of oppression. In one video, he rambled about his belief that the government was creating new currency that would enslave citizens and accused educational institutions of brainwashing individuals into compliance. The videos, set against grainy visuals or black screens, were eerie and disjointed, showcasing a mind deteriorating under the weight of delusion. While his uploads received little attention at the time, they took on a much darker significance after January 8, 2011, when Loughner opened fire at a constituent meeting held by U.S. Representative Gabrielle Giffords. The shooting left 6 people dead, including a federal judge, a 9-year-old girl, and injured 13 others, including Giffords, who survived despite being shot in the head. The attack stunned the nation and prompted an intense investigation into Loughner's motives. As authorities pieced together his background, his YouTube channel became a focal point for understanding his mindset. The videos were riddled with anti-government rhetoric, mistrust of authority, and references to his belief that he was being controlled or monitored. Investigators and psychologists suggested that these videos were a manifestation of his mental illness, later diagnosed as schizophrenia. Elliot Rogers. Much like Jared Lee, Elliot Rodger used YouTube as a platform to share deeply unsettling videos, documenting his feelings of isolation, entitlement, and growing resentment towards society. Rodger's YouTube channel, which he called Elliot Rodger's Official Channel, was filled with content that provided a chilling insight into his mindset. In these videos, he discussed his frustrations with women for rejecting him, his anger towards men he perceived as more successful, and his belief that the world was unjustly denying him the pleasures he felt entitled to. He often framed himself as a victim, referring to his lack of romantic and sexual experiences as a personal injustice inflicted by society. The most infamous of these uploads was his final video, titled Elliot Rodger's Retribution. In this disturbing manifesto-like recording, Rodger outlined his plan for what he called his Day of Retribution. Speaking directly into the camera, he detailed his hatred for women and the men that they chose to date, expressing a warped desire to punish them for the rejection he felt throughout his life.
Tomorrow is the day of retribution. The day in which I will have my revenge against humanity, against all of you.
The video served as both a farewell and a declaration of his intentions, leaving no doubt about the calculated nature of his attack. On May 23, 2014, Rodger carried out his plan in Isla Vista, California. The attack began with the stabbing deaths of his 3 roommates, followed by a shooting spree that claimed the lives of 3 more people and injured 14 others before he turned the gun on himself. The horror of the event echoed around the world, with his YouTube videos and a lengthy written manifesto providing a look into the mind of a killer. Rodger's online presence became central to the narrative surrounding the attack. They exposed the extent of his entitlement, misogyny, and self-absorbed worldview, while also highlighting the role of online echo chambers in amplifying these beliefs. Rodger's rhetoric drew from communities such as the incel movement, which promotes a toxic blend of misogyny and victimhood. After the attack, his videos and writings were widely shared within these spaces, turning him into a dark figurehead for similar individuals. Trey Eric Sessler. Trey Eric Sessler, or better known by his YouTube alias Mr. Anime, was once a superstar in the anime review community. With a charismatic personality and a knack for creating engaging content, Sessler gained a dedicated following in the early 2010s. His channel featured anime reviews, discussions, and occasional comedic skits, earning him the admiration of fans who appreciated his deep knowledge of the genre. However, beneath the surface of his seemingly normal persona, nobody knew there was a much darker reality brewing. On March 20th, 2012, the world of anime fandom was shaken to its core when Sessler's name hit the headlines for a horrifying reason. Sessler was arrested for the brutal murder of his parents and older brother in their home in Waller, Texas. The news was so hard to believe for those who had followed its content from the beginning. What made the case even more disturbing were the details that emerged during the investigation. Sessler had reportedly spent years planning a mass shooting at his former high school and saw the murders of his family as a necessary step in his twisted vision. Authorities found evidence on his computer and journals detailing his plans to carry out the attack, including his intention to become known as a mass shooter. In a video discovered by police, Sessler even recorded a message apologizing to his friends for what he was about to do, revealing a level of premeditation that sent chills through investigators.
Well, hi everybody, it's Mr. Anime here, and I'm recording on my MacBook's web camera, and my MacBook's from like 4 years ago, so the web camera's not that great, so you'll have to bear with me. This is just an update video to let you guys know that I'm going to reward myself with probably a 2 or 3 week break coming up here from YouTube videos, anime reviews in particular. I might do some blog stuff. I want to thank you guys a lot for sticking with me and watching the channel. I got more subscribers than ever.
The murders shocked the anime community, many of whom had no idea about the darkness lurking behind his online persona. Even fellow creators alike struggled to reconcile that the Trey Eric Sessler they thought they knew was the man capable of such horrific violence. Today, Sessler remains behind bars, serving multiple life sentences without the possibility of parole. Pekka Erik Alvinen, infamously dubbed the YouTube killer, Pekka Erik Alvinen used the platform in a way that forever altered perceptions of internet behavior. In the days leading up to November 7, 2007, Alvinen, a Finnish teenager, uploaded a series of cryptic and deeply disturbing videos to his YouTube channel. You see, Alvinen was a self-described misanthrope. He had a small but growing YouTube presence where he expressed extreme disdain for humanity. His channel featured content that ranged from footage of himself handling firearms to unsettling commentary about his belief in the survival of the fittest and his contempt for societal norms. Using pseudonyms like Natural Selector, Alvinen's whole online persona radiated anger and alienation, all while hinting at an impending act of violence. On the morning of November 7th, Alvinen carried out a mass shooting at Jokela High School, killing 8 people, including students and staff, before turning the gun on himself. He died later that evening in the hospital from self-inflicted injuries. The attack was one of the first widely documented instances of mass shooting with direct ties to premeditated online activity, making Alvinen's YouTube uploads a horrifying artifact of his mindset leading up to the tragedy. The YouTube videos, which were later removed from the platform, provided a chilling glimpse into Alvinen's motives. In one particular video, he brandished the handgun he would use in the shooting while delivering a speech about natural selection and the cleansing of the human race. His content not only outlined his violent intentions, but also showcased the role of the internet in amplifying his message to a global audience. In the aftermath, authorities and internet users alike combed through his online presence, trying to piece together the warning signs they might have missed. His YouTube channel, alongside forum posts and other online activity, showed an individual consumed by hatred and isolation, radicalized by niche corners of the internet. Stephen McCullough is a YouTuber from Northern Ireland, known mostly for his channel that features live streams and gaming content. McCullough shocked the world when his seemingly ordinary life collided with a heinous crime, with the case taking an even darker turn when it became evident that he had used his platform not only to build an audience, but also to craft an alibi for his actions. In December 2022, McCullough's friend Natalie McNally, a 32-year-old woman who was 15 weeks pregnant, was found brutally murdered in her home. The murder shocked the community and prompted an immediate and extensive investigation. McCullough initially positioned himself as a grieving friend, offering public condolences and even attending vigils held in Natalie's memory. His subsequent live streams and gaming videos seem to portray him as an average content creator with no apparent connection to the crime. However, investigators uncovered a disturbing truth. On the night of Natalie's murder, McCullough had live streamed for 6 hours, seemingly providing him with an airtight alibi. But forensic experts discovered that the live stream was pre-recorded, a calculated move to mislead authorities and establish his innocence. The revelation exposed a chilling level of premeditation, showing how McCullough weaponized his YouTube channel to orchestrate a cover-up. Further evidence implicated McCullough through the crime, including CCTV footage, DNA, and inconsistent statements during police interviews. In February 2023, McCullough was finally arrested and charged with Natalie's murder. The case drew widespread attention, not only for the brutality of the crime, but also for the way McCullough implicated the facts of the case. Tony 48219. Tony 48219 is a YouTuber from Detroit whose real name was Anthony Powell. He became infamous for his connection to the tragic murder of fellow YouTuber Asia McGowan in April 2009. Powell, who had a small following on YouTube, used the platform to post videos filled with misogynist rants, extreme religious views, and disturbing commentary that often targeted women, particularly black women. Asia McGowan was an aspiring actress and college student at the time. She also used YouTube to share videos of her creative endeavors, humor, and personal thoughts. Her channel was filled with positivity and ambition, very different to Powell's darker online presence. Though McGowan and Powell were not close acquaintances, Powell's obsession with her grew after discovering her channel. It became apparent that he had fixated on her in the weeks leading up to the tragedy. On April 10, 2009, Powell tracked McGowan to a classroom at Henry Ford Community College in Dearborn, Michigan. Armed with a shotgun, he shot and killed her before turning the weapon back on himself. It was one of the saddest incidents in YouTube history. Many who had followed her channel were shocked to learn of her tragic fate, struggling to reconcile the joyful, ambitious Asia they knew online with horrific circumstances of her death. In the aftermath, Powell's YouTube videos were scrutinized for warning signs of his dangerous behavior. Many of his uploads included vitriolic commentary against women, laced with religious extremism and a sense of anger and alienation. Some viewers had even commented on the alarming nature of his content before the tragedy, but no actions were taken to address it.